hello there chums, it's I, Captain Stephen X, and we're going to be doing Weekend Mission 3 and doing a little bit of a breakdown on what some of this lore and some of this stuff could mean. So let's go and initiate Weekend Mission 03. So let's head on over to the Nexus and pick up said mission. Yep, so you have to actually aim at the Nexus now rather than the panels, which is a bit weird, but we picked that up. It still mentions the loom, and all the text here is exactly the same as previous weeks. So we're going to initialize mission and see which iteration we need to speak to this week, and that pops up in the lower right hand corner right about now. Heck yes, we're going to go speak to Mercury. I'll see you up there. Okay, right, so we're going to talk to Mercury, or Hermes, whatever you want to call him. Right, okay, I often wonder about the nature of our existence, Portal Adept. What Ariadne's recent disappearance means for us. Well, it means none of us are safe, my friend, I think, pretty much, doesn't it, to be fair? And yeah, there are some who believe the travellers to be the same soul, split across countless iterations and universes. Well, I hope not, because we sacrificed a lot of travellers' souls to bring forward the living ships. So that means we've lost a little bit of ourselves to those, doesn't it, to be fair? So yeah, that's a little bit worrying. That's very worrying, to be fair. But even still, it plays quite nicely into what's going on at the moment, and it kind of points towards the living ships as being something not of this world, in my opinion. But there we go. And what else have you got to say? How we may have been if we had lived different lives. Well, true. I mean, I can create a visage that looks exactly like you or any of the other iterations up here. And yeah, we kind of get the idea that we're in a simulation, and this just echoes into that. And to be fair, I don't believe there's any more lore to be gained here. We haven't picked up any new names or anything else to actually push into or anything like that. Apart from this, which is interesting, we have located Ariadne's ship, or rather, we have located hundreds of them, duplicated and morphed across the known universe. So whatever this void is, this space, it's got the ability to not only duplicate travellers but also duplicate their ships and pretty much everything else, which is a little bit scary because that's like an infinite army that could exist inside of the void. Now there were two options here, so I go back to talk to good old Mercury or Mr. Hermes, and I'm not actually getting anything from him. So yeah, which is a bit odd. So I'm going to do a reload. Now the reason I call him Mr. Hermes or Mercury is in Greek mythology he's known as Hermes. In Roman he's known as Mercury. I don't know why they chose to call this guy Mercury in the Roman lore, but it's one and the same sort of entity. So here we go, let's interact with him again. I often wonder, oh yeah, all this was seen already. It's this bit that's interesting. I'm going to choose the other option. I'm going to ask for guidance. Now he gets a little bit cheesed off. You still don't understand! Trace the knowledge stones and find Ariadne's ship on the other side of the portal. Okay, whatever you do, don't drink the water. Now that is pretty interesting. In the last two weekend missions, if you haven't seen my rundown of there, every time we went to the disturbance site, we were asked if we wished to drink the water and stay a while, and it was kind of a sinister type feeling, and there was a lot of Gek voices. The last spawn of the Gek. The last spawn of the Gek were altered by the water because it had nanites in from Korvax that sacrificed themselves to make the Gek more docile and more placid and open to the fact that they were causing torture and chaos. So yeah, it's pretty freaking mind-blowing. Just that one little statement's quite cool. So I head on down to the planet and I interact with Ariadne's ship. So in all the other weekend missions, the previous 30 that we'd done last season, our exosuit was crackling or sparking. It didn't really do any of this screaming, but now it sounds more organic. It's sounding like it's actually interacting with us to tell us to step back and save us from infection. So my worry is, even if Ariadne is alive, could she have become part of some sort of infection? This whole 1616, if she comes back all shiny and kazert and all this, then I'm going to be seriously worried that we've got the correct Ariadne back in our midst. Even if she isn't, there's a worry that she might not be the correct Ariadne, because some of the Traveller's lore was damn right frickin' freaky and creepy. Some of the Travellers I encountered during the Traveller's lore was, yeah, just really bizarre. I'll put a link up to that in the top right hand corner now, so be sure to check that one out. I'm going to go over to this base and see, oh yes, he's got shed loads of Sac Phantom. So this is actually on PS4, but with crossplay, maybe if you join a PlayStation player, you might be able to pick all this stuff up. It just makes the weekend mission a heck of a lot easier. And I'm going to go turn that in. So here we go. Let's chuck that sack venom into here, and let's pick up on the last part of the lore on this weekend mission. So again, we haven't picked up any new names, but this gives us corruption leaves this vessel, and with it 1,000 duplicates disappear. Across the stars, I read the data log. Now that removed the data corruption, well, the corruption of that ship, whatever that corruption was. Was that an infection that I just cured by satisfying it with some sort of sacrifice? Who knows? But this is interesting. Before the ship's reality splinter, it comes into contact with a strange, vast freighter in the darkness of between suns. In the Traveller's lore, there was a traveller that mentioned a great freighter, a giant freighter, like something unworldly. Could it be that Ariadne has gone aboard this giant freighter? Oh man, this is amazing. The darkness between suns. So on the galactic map, you've got the suns, and we just travel from in between 1 and 2. We've never been in the space in between. So is that fluidic space, or is it just, antimatter or dark matter? Could that be the void? Could that be the other realm? Could it be the abyss? Who knows? But it seems to be that Ariadne is still alive and somewhere in between the space of the suns, and perhaps on this giant freighter. Oh, it's getting interesting. Heck yes. So yeah, check out the Traveller lore that I put the link up earlier. I'll try and put it at the end of the video on the end card as well. So be sure to go check that out, because yeah, there's a lot inside of the Traveller lore that I think is relatively new and is fairly mind-blowing stuff. And I think it interlinks into all this new lore that we're seeing now. Heck yes. So yeah, be sure to check that one out. And I'll be seeing you guys back up inside of the Nexus. Okay, so I'm turning in the actual mission. Got myself the Quicksilver, got some extra frigate fuel. Now, I picked up a Trident key the other day, didn't I? Now, I was half expecting in this weekend mission to get myself a gnarly chest to open or something. But it's a Trident key, so it's going to be underwater, this thing. And I'd imagine the chest is going to be underwater. So maybe a future mission. I'm going to hold on to it. I'm going to hold on to it just in case it isn't a random drop. But I have got the sneaky feeling that it is a random drop. It's got nothing to do with the weekend mission. So yeah, up to you what you do with yours if you got one, that is. Heck yes. And I'll be seeing you all next time. Goodbye for now. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Multiple ways to support my channel, Patreon being one. Thank you, Patreons. And I also have YouTube membership. Thank you, YouTube memberships. Yep, there's multiple tiers there for everyone. Be sure to check both out if you're thinking of supporting me that way. Hitting a like or a subscribe or leaving a comment. I love reading comments. Is another way to support the channel. Or there's merch if you want to find a dandy pair of socks or a t-shirt. Head on over to Teespring. Or just stay with Captain Steve a little bit longer and watch a little more. Hit join or sub. Heck yes. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Cheerio.